This is my 6'11 ISO build. Yeah, you heard that right. A build that can put an opponent on all fours in embarrassing fashion. A build that can move like a guard all at 6'11. A build that can shoot over anyone like he's KD. A build that also gets driving and standing contact dunks while being able to play elite defense anywhere on the court. This is a rim rocking mid post eraser, aka the 6'11 𝘸𝘁 ISO build. So make sure to subscribe for more build videos, because today I will be showing gameplay of this build, how to make my version of the build and other versions no matter how many cap breakers you have, while also revealing my dribble moves, dunk packages, jump shot, and badges for this build. So without further ado, let's get this video started. DraftKings is handing out $50 to all new customers. I partnered up with DraftKings now that the NBA season is finally here, and all new customers that use code DoubleH and deposit $5 to place on a Pick 6 entry get $50 in bonus picks instantly. Just use my link or scan the QR code on screen to sign up and start playing now. It's as simple as downloading the DraftKings app or heading over to DraftKings.com, signing up using code DoubleH, depositing $5, heading over to Pick 6, select higher or lower on player props, and finally submitting those picks. And boom, you get a free $50 in bonus picks. So sign up using promo code DoubleH, all one word, only on DraftKings Sportsbook to start making picks today. What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Henry, aka DoubleH, back at it with yet another banger. And today, I got y'all with a new build, man. Y'all already know I have a bunch of 6'8 builds. I got my 6'1, I had my 7'4, but this build might be the most unique build. No, it's got to be the most unique build I have made. I think this build is not only really good, but if you learn how to use it, it can also be extremely dominant. And it is also very fun to use along with the unique part, okay? So this is a 6'11 ISO build, okay? Now, I'm going to show you guys different versions of the build, whether you have 0 cap breakers, 5 cap breakers, 10 cap breakers, or even 19 cap breakers, okay? Now, if we take a look at my 2K card, trust me, I am someone that you could trust. I have a 93 win percent. I've been going crazy with this build already, and I literally just made it the other day. I've barely had time with the build, and I'm already making the build video because I'm like, dude, this build is insane, okay? I mean, just take a look at my hot zones. I've had the build for like a day. I already got a hot zone damn near everywhere. And we can't forget about the badges. I mean, the badges are absolutely insane on a 6'11 dribbling ISO build. Y'all are gonna have to check out this build. First, I'm gonna show y'all some gameplay because the gameplay is absolutely crazy. We're gonna have some other videos on the channel of some more gameplay with this build. But oh my God, let's get into it right now because I'm excited just to show y'all this build. Oh, and it is called a rim rocking mid post eraser. So now that we're in the gameplay, we're going to be showing shooting, dribbling, defense, and finishing clips. Now, this build does get a very high mid range and a very high 3-pointer. So you're going to be able to shoot threes. You're going to be able to shoot mid ranges. And what I like about the 6'11 is you're just going to be shooting over everybody. Like most of the time, the people that are guarding you are going to be shorter than you. And guess what? If they're somehow taller than you, you're gonna be way faster than them. It's gonna be an automatic dunk. Like, I'm not even kidding. If a 7-footer or a 6'11 is guarding you or taller, automatic dunk with this build. But you see the shooting clips. I'm gonna be showing the jump shot at the end. The jump shot's butter. You rise up high. That's one of the perks of being 6'11. You're gonna be hard to contest, right? You can also shoot fades on this build. This build gets legend shifty shooter, so obviously that mid-range fade is gonna be insane. The 3-pointers are crazy too. Honestly, this build is just kind of like if you were on a 6'8. The shooting is automatic. Very elite shooting on this build. That's probably one of the last things you have to worry about. You know, you might have thought, oh, it's like a 6'11 dribbling build. It's going to need a lot of stats. You know, you're going to have a lower midi or 3. No, you have a very high 3-pointer in mid-range. 91 3-pointer, 93 midi. I've been loving to shoot on this build so far. I'm actually shooting like 82% from 3 so far on this build. I honestly cannot wait to continue to play on this build because it is really, really fun. Like I said, probably the most fun build I have made so far in 2K26. And I'm honestly not even as good as I could be when it comes to the dribbling. Speaking of the dribbling, we got to show some dribbling clips because you got to remember, this build is 6'11", people, okay? You got to remember that, okay? Look at what I'm doing. People are comparing that little hop back move to the LeBron hop back in older 2Ks. You could do walk backs. You could spam step backs. Look at me. I'm looking like a guard out here. Like, I'm genuinely cooking people on the ISO. You see the KD escape into the walk back, into the green. It's getting glitchy. Oh my God. I mean, the clips alone just makes this build look insane. And look, I'm putting people on the floor like you saw in the intro. You can get a ton of ankle breakers on these taller builds for whatever reason. Hit them with the walk back again. And you're probably wondering, well, why are they guarding the walk? Why aren't they guarding the walk back? Well, that's because, first of all, we can break a crazy amount of ankles. Look at that. Oh my God, that step back is insane, bro. But we have Giannis crossover on this build too. So if you're starter 4 higher, you can get Giannis cross, maybe KD cross, and that literally launches you into the paint. Look at, dude, I'm making that dude twerk back there, bro. It is actually insane what I'm doing. Look at wide open step back, easy green midi. Yeah, this build's insane. I'm getting a ton of stuns, ton of ankle breakers. It's kind of crazy what I've already done with this build, and I literally just made it the other day. Like, usually it takes me like a while to be like, okay, is this build good enough for me to make a video on it? Because, you know, I always test my builds, but this build, I played about a couple days on it. I'm like, dude, I have to make a video on this build. This build is literally insane. Look at me doing Spider-Man dunks. But yeah, you saw the Giannis cross over there. We do a lot of walkbacks. You can do the escapes. Look at the Giannis cross. Just darts yourself into the paint. It's crazy. But yeah, this build for 6'11" is just, you can move with it. You can really get open on anybody, because if they're fast enough to keep up with you, guess what? They're not tall enough to contest you, especially when you're doing all this stuff. Okay, now speaking of defense, I love the defense on this build. You can jump super high to get blocks on midi fades like that. You can also protect the paint. Like, who do you know getting up that high to block that dunk right there? Oh, another thing, shot contest. I get a lot of heavy contests with this build. It's actually insane. Out of all the builds I have builds with 92 perimeter. None of my other builds get red perimeter contests like this build does. And I've only been playing on it for a couple days now, and I've been getting tons of clips of me just getting red contests. Now these are post fades right here in the theater, but even on the twos or on just regular shots, like, I am getting an insane amount of crazy contests that would just be open on a 6'8" with a 92 perimeter. Not only that, but the blocking is insane. The defense is insane. You can get bumpy on this build. You know, yeah, you're 6'11", you're not going to be as fast, but you make up for it with that wingspan and with that height, especially with the stats you're going to see in the video. You know, the 90 vertical is definitely going to help it a lot too. Look at this dude's trying to, he's on a 6'11" doing the walk back thing. Look at, I jump, I get a crazy contest, because when I jump at shots with this build, whether they're in the paint or on the perimeter, the contest I am getting is insane with this 90 vertical. I feel like vertical's got to be one of the best stats in the game after playing with it. I just literally made that dude airball layup, by the way, not even block him. Another crazy contest right here, 70%. No one can post fade on me. It's literally an automatic red no matter what. I'm going to contest that every time. I love guarding the paint on this build too. I have legend pogo stick, so I can jump a couple times like that, still get the contest, kick it out off the rebound, easy assist. And the finishing is great too. I get standing contacts, I get driving contacts, and you're going to see a lot of clips in here be using the Giannis crossover to just go into the paint. It's actually a lethal move on this build. But yeah, I like having standing dunk and driving dunk on this build. I don't really have layup because, bro, if I'm driving to the basket, I'm just going to dunk the ball, okay? A lot of people are like, oh, but what if you get pulled out? Dude, I have played a lot of games on this build already in the last couple days. I've never been pulled out of a dunk. Unless you're just taking a dumbass take, which would be your fault to begin with, then I don't see the reason to have it. Look at these animations I'm getting, by the way. Like, that's another thing. You are 6'11". Your animations are going to be crazy. And what's crazy about the 6'11" is I actually have a lot of post control on this build. I just haven't really gotten to that bag yet. So if you're good at post fading, post spinning, drop stepping, that's a whole nother avenue you can take with this build. But anyways, let's go ahead and show the version of the build that I made and then go from there. All right, now that we're in the builder, I'm going to show y'all a cap breaker version for 0 to 2 cap breakers, 5 cap breakers, 8 cap breakers, 10 to 12 cap breakers, and even the version I made and why I went with it. Okay, so no matter how many cap breakers you have, I got y'all. Okay, just read the timestamps of the video and then also look at like the top left or right of the video to see what build we are currently making. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show you guys how to make is the build I have. This is the 6'11" that I made, the version I made. So I know most of y'all are not going to have the cap breakers that I have, but I'm just going to show y'all what I made because a lot of y'all are asking what my build is. Okay, so we're going power forward. You could go center. Doesn't really matter too much. You can't go small forward, shooting guard, or point guard. You have to go power forward or center. So I went power forward. Doesn't really matter if you go power forward or center. Obviously, we're going 6'11" because this is a 6'11" ISO build. A lot of people were asking me, yo, why not go 6'10"? Well, 6'10", there's not really a big reason to do so. You're not going to get a higher lightning launch. You're not going to get more dribble moves. Yeah, you might be a little faster by like 1 speed and like 3 agility, but it's really all not that worth it. You may as well take the extra height. Okay, so we're going 6'11". Now with the wingspan, I went minimum wingspan. The reason we do this is because we want to get above a 93 pointer to unlock that deep bomb or takeover, and also just to have a high 3-pointer. Okay, so I went minimum wingspan, and then with the height, we went exactly 213 pounds, because at 213 pounds, that's where I can get 68 speed with ball, which gives me bronze lightning launch, which is a tier 2 badge that I could max +2 and get gold lightning launch on a 6'11". If you go 214 pounds, you don't get the 68 speed with ball, and then you can't max +1 or 2 lightning launch at all because you don't even get the badge. So you want to be 213 pounds and still get the highest strength as possible with the 82 strength. So this is what our max attribute potentials are looking like. And now let's head into the actual stats themselves. So I spent hours upon hours in this builder trying to figure out the best ways to get as many different sets of cap breakers to go up more than just +1, right? Because we know normal cap breakers go up +1, but sometimes you get like +7, +4, +5, right? And y'all already know the builder is literally, I don't even know, bro. It's like a quadratic formula, okay? It's pretty random. You got to go in and out to check the cap breakers. So I did all the work for y'all, okay? So the first thing we are going to go ahead and do is look at the finishing. So this build is going to get contact dunks. We are going to get an 87 driving dunk. So we get contact dunks. We're also going to get standing contact dunks. So we're going to get an 81 driving dunk, okay? Now we're going to come back to the finishing in a second, but let's go ahead and move on to the shooting. So we're going to get an 88 mid-range. Is it going to go higher than 88? Yes. With the cap breakers, it's going to go to a 93 mid-range. We went 88 because that's like the money spot, if you will. Another money spot is 63 3-pointer. You're probably thinking, dude, why would you make a 6'11" with a 63 3-pointer? Obviously, I have a higher 3-pointer than that. Y'all saw the gameplay. Like I said, this is a very glitchy cap breaker build. The 6'11s get crazy, okay? Then we went with 68 speed with ball, obviously, to max that out. And we're going to leave the ball head on 63. We're going to be cap breaking that as well. And now we're going to pause on the pass sack. Don't worry, we're going to be upgrading that pass sack. So we're actually going to pause on the interior defense too. So let's go to the steal. We're going to max the steal to 67. We're going to get that 88 block to get those blocking badges. Yes, 88. Yes, you get high flying denier at that at some point. We're going to put the perimeter to a 50, and we are going to cap break that as well. Then we're going to go to the rebound, 80 defensive rebound for that silver rebound chaser, 69 offensive rebound. And then the physicals. Physicals, you're actually going to max everything. Max speed, max agility, max strength, max vertical. Okay, now with the stats I had left, I was like, okay, I have a lot of stats left over. Obviously I want pass ac on this, and at first I had like an 85 pass ac, but then I realized I can cap break that too and get some extra stats elsewhere. So I was like, okay, let's put this to a 76 pass accuracy and see where we can, you know, go about with our other stats. So we went 76 pass accuracy, and I was like, okay, what else could we need? You know, obviously we need that 70 interior for those extra blocking badges, but what else? Okay, maybe I go 82 interior defense. I'm not gonna really get much else, you know, maybe post move lockdown, a couple other badges, but just to have the interior defense to get those extra contests and higher contests in the paint, that'd be nice, right? Also, I'm one off getting silver paint prodigy, so may as well get that with 84 close shot. What else do we go with here? We're still at 97, not that much left to work with. We're cap breaking ball handle, we're cap breaking 3-pointer, we're cap breaking perimeter. You know, I don't really need a higher O board. I have a 90 vertical with silver rebound chaser that I'm gonna max +1. You know, I could get like a 90 layup, but dude, I don't know, for me, I didn't go with the 90 layup because, like, if I'm dunking the ball, bro, I'm dunking the ball. You know, maybe I forget if I get pulled out of a dunk, but that doesn't really happen, you know, enough to go from 67 to 90 layup. So I was like, okay, why don't we go with post control? We can get up to an 87 post control, and now I could max +2 post-up pull-up, get legend post-up pull-up, get Hall of Fame post-fade phenom with the mid-range that I'm going to cap break. And now this build's looking interesting. Now, obviously, you can lower some other stats to get higher free throw, but this is the build I made right here. Now, you probably have a lot of questions on why I did certain things. So once again, we're cap breaking three-pointer, ball handle, pass sack, and perimeter defense. So excluding those stats, I wanted all the drill moves in the game. I wanted to be as fast as possible with the ball, which is 68 speed with the ball to 6'11". I wanted as much defensive stats as possible. We're going to be maxing the perimeter with the cap breakers. And I wanted 90 vertical. 90 vertical, you're probably like, okay, that's like overkill. You know, you already have the 87 driving dunk. You know, you're not going to get any other contact dunks with this. Dude, vertical is actually one of the best stats in the game. I get so many, like, you know, when you jump for contests in this game because the contests are not good, dude, I get a heavy on almost every shot contest with 90 vertical. I also get crazy contests in the paint. I have Hall of Fame high flying denier gold paint patrol with my max +1s and 2s, and with the 88 block, 82 interior, with the 90 vertical jumping for contests in the paint and the legend pogo stick, it's insane. Not to mention the rebounding with a 90 vertical on a 6'11 is insane. Like, vertical might be one of the best stats in the game, and that legend pogo is no joke. Okay, so the vertical might be one of my favorite stats on this build. Other than that, any other questions you may have, you know, maybe why mid-range and three-pointer, I feel like being a threat in the paint on the mid-range and the three-pointer is huge, and then standing contacts and driving dunks is huge. We can also post up if we need to. I feel like when people do have low stamina, low adrenaline in a possession, they get to that post fade, get to that post spin, that's good too. We're gonna have high pass. Like, I mean, this build literally gets all the stats you could possibly want. Like, the only thing you could possibly complain about is the driving layup, but I'm gonna dunk the ball anyways, or maybe the offensive rebound, but I have a 90 vertical and I have the rebound chaser badge to do so with the gold, even Hall of Fame rebound chaser if you max +2 it. So I mean, that's just kind of nitpicking it. And then all the other stats are maxed. I mean, yeah, you could complain about the 82 strength, but if you didn't have an 82 strength, if you went higher, you wouldn't have lightning launch at all. So it would completely just make the build not what it is, which is a 6'11 ISO build that's supposed to dribble. So yeah, this is what we got. I'm gonna show y'all the cap breakers. This is the version I made. Like I said, we're gonna show other versions with lower cap breakers. This is an unrealistic amount of cap breakers for the average player to have. And obviously the weakness is 3-point shots are allergic to the rim, but dude, we're gonna have a 91 3-pointer when we put our cap breakers on. And the build is called a rim rocking mid post eraser. So that's kind of a crazy build name. I kind of like that. I didn't end up changing it even after the cap breakers. So yeah, I think the build name it gave us is honestly just fire itself. So now if we look at the cap breakers that the build we just made, it's insane. So first of all, we are going to do shooting specialization. So make sure you do shooting specialization. That's going to give you another 2 cappers. So I have 15 cappers, and I made this build for 19 cappers because I know in season 3, even though at the time I'm recording this, it hasn't dropped yet, but the time you're watching this, it's definitely out. For season 3 at level 40, you're going to get a capper, which I'm going to get, and then at veteran 2, I'm going to get another 3 cap breakers. So that's going to be 19 cap breakers total. So that's why I went with 19 cap breakers total. So looking at the cap breakers, it's very glitchy. So I put, you know what, let's just go ahead and get on our 99 overall build to show you the cap breakers on there, because then I gotta show you what I actually did. All right, so on our actual build, these are our cap breakers. So I went +5 on the 3-pointer, and that got me from a 63 3-pointer all the way to a 91. So this saved us a ton of extra attributes to put elsewhere in the builder. You know, we wouldn't have gotten post control. We wouldn't have gotten maybe the block or the vertical or, you know, the interior defense or the mid-range if we didn't do this, okay? And then the mid-range, we got to 93 to get that set shot specialist on Hall of Fame. And now, I mean, with just 2 cappers, we went from 88 to 93. That's kind of glitchy too, right? The ball handle, we went from 63 to 75, which is max on a 6'11, giving us all the drill moves we need, right? And with just 3 cap breakers, we did that. So that was super cheap. Then the perimeter defense, which is expensive, by the way. And this is one of the only other stats that you could have these crazy cap breakers for while also getting these. Because if you change any of these stats, y'all, it's gonna mess up the cap breakers. Trust me, I was working on this for hours. But yeah, you can go from a 50 to a 75, giving you all the defensive badges you could possibly get on the 6'11 that we have. And trust me, I mean, y'all saw the gameplay. The shot contest we were getting is insane on a 6'11, especially with the 90 vertical paired with it. definitely high enough. And then after that is the cap breakers on the pass act. Now I'm gonna have an 87 pass accuracy. Trust me, we did the math on this. So when I get the little 40 cap breaker, that's another +2. Then the 3 cap breakers at veteran 2, that's gonna use all 5 cap breakers on the pass act, giving me an 87 pass accuracy. So this build is really gonna have every stat outside of driving layup, and maybe it could get a higher O board. All the other stats are basically maxed out damn near for the 6'11 size we have, making this build genuinely, I think, the best possible 6'11 you can make. That is trying to dribble the ball in ISO. Okay, so yeah, this is the build we have. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the badges I have. I could definitely change these around. I don't really use the post-up poet as much as I should, but I'm gonna start using it more. But yeah, we have legend post-up poet. We have gold lightning launch on a 6'11, legend set shot specialist, legend shifty shooter, gold rebound chaser, which honestly I could swap with post-up poet, get Hall of Fame rebound chaser if I wanted to, which I feel like most of y'all would. Hall of Fame high flying denier with gold paint patroller and silver handles for days. And then when I get takeover, I have gold post powerhouse, gold posterizer. This build is actually ridiculous, bro. I don't know how we got all of these badges, all of these stats, but it truly is insane. We still have like silver limitless, which we could max +2, the Hall of Fame, a lot of options that you have here, but this is what I got going on. We also have the shooting specialization. And yeah, I'm also going to show you all the animations, the jump shot, the drill moves, the dunk packages, all that good stuff after we show you the other versions of the 6'11 that you may want to make, because I'm sure most of y'all don't have this many cap breakers. So let's get realistic here with the cap breakers and show you the versions that you can make that are still just as good. Obviously, they're not going to be this good because you literally get every stat, but let me show y'all. And now I'm going to show y'all the best 10 to 12 cap breaker version. Now keep in mind, you have to make this a certain way to get the cap breakers for 3-pointers still to save all these attributes. Okay, so the first thing that I would try to do was like lower the post control to 60, still get the high interior. Then I would get like a high O board and a high free throw, and then still get an 85 pass sack and even a max ball handle, and then cap breaker the midi 3 and perimeter. And I even tried that with the midi 3 ball handle and max perimeter and lower ball handle. But no matter what I would do, the cap breakers for 3-pointer weren't the same. So you have to make this a very specific way still, okay? So you have to keep the physicals, keep the rebounding stats. You actually have to lower the perimeter 1, and you do have to sacrifice your interior defense. Now, the only badge you're losing out here on is post lockdown, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. This is what you got to do for the cap breakers if you have 10 to 12. And then post control, you actually do end up keeping. Free throw, you go down to. If you want to put free throw on the build, you can. You can get an 85 pass accuracy, so you don't have to cap break that. We can max out that ball handle, so we don't have to cap break that. And boom, this is the build at 99 overall. If you have 10 to 12 cap breakers, you would just put 4 on perimeter defense. You can put 5 on 3-pointer and 2 on mid-range. Obviously, that's 11 cap breakers, but if you have 10, you may as well just make the build, and then when you get that extra cap breaker, you can apply it on perimeter again, or you can lower something else, higher something else, see if you get those cap breakers. But yeah, this is the build right here. If you have 10 to 12 cap breakers, pretty simple changes. I'm going to show y'all the cap breakers as well. The build name is a shot erasing mid post creator, so little different build name here. But like I said, the big thing here is trying to get these 3-pointer cap breakers to get all the extra attributes you can. And yeah, with this one, we do get those 3-pointer cap breakers again. So we get the 91 3-pointer. You could still get your 75 perimeter defense, 74 perimeter defense. And even that, you still get the +3 and 2 on the mid-range. So yeah, you can cap breaker the midi, 3-pointer, and perimeter with this 10 cap breaker to 12 cap breaker version. And then if you get an extra cap breaker, maybe, you could put that 12 cap breaker on pass sack, 1 on pass sack, boom, 87 pass sack for the gold break starter. There you go. Or you can start putting it on offensive rebound if you don't like the offensive rebound. Yeah, this is the 10 to 12 cap breaker version. I would have liked to substitute the post control for interior defense, or substitute the post control for maybe, I would have substituted it for post control for higher interior and higher O board and higher free throw, but it wouldn't. Every time I did that, I wouldn't get my 3-pointer cap breakers anymore, so there wasn't really a reason to do it. So yeah, this is it. Remember, shooting specialization. Now let's move on to the next version. All right, now with the next version, I'm going to show a 5 to 7 cap breaker version. So what we're going to do with this one is we're only going to cap break shooting. So we're going to go down on the O board. We're going to have relatively the same stats here, right? But obviously we're going to have to sacrifice something. So we're going to be sacrificing the post control a little bit. So we're still going to have that 79 post control to get gold post fade phenom, which I feel like is what we're going for the most part anyways. And then with those extra stats that we have left over, we're going to go ahead, put that perimeter defense to a 76. And you know, you could put it down to a 74, get the 70 offense or rebound if you want. But for me, I'm going to go with the 76 perimeter defense, 65 free throw. You could also lower the post control a little bit, get like an 80 free throw. You know, maybe you want to lower the perimeter defense a little bit, get 72 free throw. And once again, go to that post control, lower it to what, 77. And then you can get, you can get like literally an 88 free throw, even lower that a little bit. And get 75 perimeter, get the 84 free throw, whatever you want to do. But for me, I don't really plan on playing fives too much with this build, so I'm going to go with the 76 perimeter, 79 post control, 65 free throw. And this is going to be the 5-7 cap breaker version. The only thing we are really cap breaking here is going to be our 3-pointer plus 5. And then if you have the extra 2 cap breakers with the 5-7 cap breaker version we have here, you can put it on mid-range and get the 93 mid-range. We're gonna go ahead and show you the cap breakers because, like I said, it's hard to get these cap breakers. You have to have specific stats, but we found a way to do it at each cap breaker level. This is called a mid-paint playmaking eraser. Honestly, that might be in contention for the best build name in the video. So if we take a look at the cap breakers, you do get that 91 3-pointer and the 93 mid-range even with this build. Honestly, if you have low cap breakers, man, this is still insane that you can do this. Especially if this is like one of your first builds, I would definitely make it having free throw. I would go 74 perimeter defense, 77 post control, you know, 70 O board, and then high free throws you can go after that. This could be easy, crazy build. Also, I forgot to mention, you'd have to go -1 in the close shot, so you don't get the silver paint prodigy anymore. But other than that, it's still crazy that you get all of these stats. And maybe if you get an 8th cap breaker, put it on the pass ac, get that 87 pass accuracy, you know, that's easy to do. And yeah, this cap breakers is looking great for this build. First 5-7 cap breakers. Now, if you have 0 cap breakers, I would highly advise to make the 5-7 cap breaker version because you're going to stumble across cap breakers. You know, you get into a max crew, or you do a couple lifetime challenges, or you literally just hit rookie 5 starter 1. Like, you're gonna get some cap breakers, level 40 every season. You're gonna stumble across cap breakers. But if you really still want to make a 0 cap breaker version, this is what you got to do. Okay, you got to just completely sacrifice your post control, right? You're gonna go ahead, have to go to put your perimeter to a 72. You know, you don't really lose any badges. You got to put your O board to a 67. You're gonna have to put your mid-range down to an 80, so you're not gonna get those shooting badges more at the mid-range. You're gonna have to put your close shot down to an 83, and then you're gonna have to put your 3-pointer all the way up here. Now, if you have 2 cap breakers, you could leave it at 88. You can upgrade some other stuff, you know, maybe get your O board, maybe get some free throw or something, and then go with that. But if you really have 0 cap breakers, then what you're gonna go ahead and have to do is go with the 93 pointer. Maybe sacrifice something else too to get a higher free throw if you want a higher free throw. And this is what you're going to have to end up making. You're going to still get that deep bomber takeover as well. Honestly, this for 0 cap breakers, this is still really, really crazy that you can get all of this on one build. But yeah, this would be the 0 cap breaker version. Once again, I wouldn't recommend making this. I would recommend making at least the 5-7 cap breaker version because you're going to stumble across them. This one is called an inside out playmaking eraser. All right, now that we're back on the build, it's time to show y'all the jump shot, the animations, and all that good stuff. So once again, build specialization, you're gonna go with shooting. The takeover I'll be using, honestly, I have deep bomber, sharpshooter, and paint surgeon on just so I can choose between them depending on what I want to work with. I always put speed with ball only with the custom takeover. Now let's go ahead, look at the animations. These are the dribble moves that I have equipped. Okay, now crossover is Giannis. That's at starter 4. If you don't have Giannis, you can use Kevin Durant. Okay, you can use Kevin Durant. That one's pretty good right there. Other than that, you should be able to unlock all these other dribble moves. This is my dribble pull-up, my post fade, spin shot, my go-to shot, my motion style. And then let's go ahead and look at the jump shot that I am using on this build. This is the jump shot. I am on push timing, max release speed. I would recommend doing push or release. Do not do set pointer jump. You are scientifically, mathematically, however you want to put it, more likely to miss your shot because you are getting less, you're giving yourself less time to read and react. And gaming's all about reaction time. Give yourself more time. Go on push and release, adjust to that. Yeah, so this is the jump shot. I think maybe Chris Bosh release 1 might be a start, or release 2 might be a starter 4 thing. If it is, you can easily just put on Charles Bassey for that release 2. Dunk style, these are the dunks I have on. We do have off 2 contacts. We have a clutch of baseline reverse. 1 foot dunks, we have flashy hangs off 1. This is how I get that Spider-Man dunk. Reverses, we have big man baseline reverses off 1, baseline reverses off 1 as well. Standing dunks, we have the standing contact dunk, and then we have all of these standing dunks equipped as well. Signature dunks, we have LeBron James, Amar'e Stoudemire, and Giannis Antetokounmpo equipped there. Alley-oops, we have Elite Pro and the contact one, and that's all my dunk packages right there. Now, if this video helped you out at all, make sure to drop a like, and if you guys want to see some more 611 gameplay, then you're probably going to be interested on one of the videos on the screen. When I played out my 611 for the first time, it was going crazy on the 2s and the 1s, or even when I started streak hunting on my 611. So yeah, go check out those videos if you want to see more gameplay on this build.